of honor that I do not understand this." "Your word of honor!" she sneered, facing him again. "You speak of honor you! That is the best jest of all." Sidney Prale's face flushed. "I had hoped that I was a man of honor," he said. "I always have tried to be honorable in my dealings with men and women all my life. Please understand that, Miss Gilbert." "If you have tried, you have failed miserably. Why do you persist in telling falsehoods, Mr. Prale? Do you think that I am a weak, silly woman ready to be hoodwinked by lies?" "But I assure you—" "I do not care for any of your assurances," she interrupted. "I wish it understood that we are strangers hereafter. You are going to fight, are you? Fight, Sidney Prale, and lose. What I said was correct. You cannot dodge retribution. It will take more than $1,000,000 to be able to do that." "My dear young lady—" "I am done, Mr. Prale. I have said all that I intend saying to you." "Then it is my turn to talk," Prale said. "This thing is getting to be so serious that I demand an explanation. Why should you and others be so eager to run me out of New York?" "Others?" "Yes, particularly one man we both know." "His name, please?" "Why ask, Miss Gilbert?" "Very well." "Why do you want me to run away?" "I did not know that others were trying to get you to leave," she said. "I suggested it because I am a woman, I suppose. You deserve the worst that can happen to you, but a woman has a kind thought now and then. I hate to see any man ground down and down, no matter how much he deserves it. And that is what is to happen to you if you do not go away. If you leave, your enemies will not use such harsh measures, perhaps. But when you are here before their very eyes, they will lift their hands against you." "Who are these enemies, and why are they after my scalp?" "You know, Sidney Prale, as well as I. I can see that it is useless to talk to you. I am sorry that I had a moment's compassion and made the attempt. Please stop the cab and let me out here." "But I demand to know—" "Do as I say, or I shall make a scene." Prale gave the signal and the taxi stopped. He helped her out, and she started briskly down the nearest path. Sidney Prale paid the chauffeur and started to follow. He glanced back and saw Murk getting out of another taxicab. He had forgotten Murk in his interest in the conversation with Kate Gilbert. But Murk had not forgotten. Murk had his orders, and he was carrying them out. He was keeping in sight, to be on hand if he was needed. Murk had a little money Prale had given him, enough to pay the taxi chauffeur. Prale motioned for him to approach. "Here's a roll of bills," he said. "Keep up the game, Murk. Don't get too far away." "I'll be right at your heels, boss." "And keep your eyes open." "Yes, sir." "That woman was Kate Gilbert." "Then I'll know her whenever I see her again, sir." Prale hurried on down the path. Murk kept pace with him, a short distance behind. Kate Gilbert had been walking swiftly. She had reached the street, and, as Prale watched, she crossed it. Prale followed. The girl did not look behind. She came to the middle of the block and ran up the steps of an apartment house. Prale passed the entrance, glanced at the number, and continued down the street. At the corner he allowed Murk to catch up with him. "She turned in at the address Jim Farland gave us," Prale said. "She has gone home, Murk. I fancy that we are done with her for today." A lot he knew about it. Chapter 14. Recording by Roger Moline.